Hi, dear people. Tijn Tauber here from Amsterdam. Today, I'd like to speak with you on a topic that is very relevant, I think, for a lot of people. And it is how do I go about all those emotions, all those demons and dragons that are somehow deep inside of me in the shadow? How do I process my emotions? And it's a question that I have been sort of struggling with for many years. Um, 30 years ago, I started with meditation, and it was relatively easy to sort of travel beyond all that stuff, all those thoughts and all those emotions, and get back into that space of light and love. But, I was always wondering, okay, I can do this now. I can sort of travel beyond all the worldly stuff. But have I actually really processed my emotions? I mean, all the stuff from the past, is it gone? Or have I just found a very elegant way to sort of bypass that? And so I started asking all the teachers that I had, all the yogis that I met, all the monks and other people, how do you do that? I mean, how do you process your emotions, your shadow parts? And most of the yogis and monks that I met in India and in that place of the world, usually their answers are something like, just give it to God, or just detach. And I thought, yeah, I understand, but have I processed it? I mean, is it still there? And so in the West, I got answers that fulfilled me a little more. For instance, I remember meeting a guy when I asked him about emotions. He said, I've got three words for you: acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. So that really helped, to not fight them or not go beyond them, but to accept them. But then the question is, how do you do that? And the answer came a little later when I really understood that you can only process your emotions if you are indeed detached, but also if you can allow them to really be there, to really let them be. Not try to stop them or change them or understand them or let them go. Letting go is really the buzzword of these days. Everybody's trying to let their emotions go. But you cannot let your emotions go. The only thing you can do with emotions is let them be. And the interesting thing is, if you can really allow an emotion to be, then that emotion will let you go. But you can only let an emotion be if you are detached from it. We can be very compassionate towards others when they are emotional. For instance, if a friend of yours comes to you tonight and says, "Oh, I'm so sad and this thing happened to me," excuse me, then all of us are able to really open our hearts, embrace this person, say, just allow that emotion to be there and just let it out. And then the person will feel really good because I feel so relieved because that emotion was able to just be there and it feels like it's just solved. But when it comes to our own emotions, suddenly it seems like a different category. This is my emotion. This is my pain. But it's just an emotion. It's just pain. So that's why detachment is so important, that you can see your emotions, experience your emotions without identifying with it. And so, if you can do that, then you can embrace your emotions in the same way that you can embrace the emotions of others. And that is what is called compassion. So, I'd like to do a little practice with you, and I'd like to see if you can embrace something that is troubling you, some sadness, some grief, some feeling of being left out, some anger maybe, something that is unresolved. And instead of trying to let it go, or trying to get rid of it, or trying to understand it, or trying to whatever, no. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to open our heart and just embrace it. And once you really embrace it, you will notice that it will let you go. So let's begin by making contact with our heart, that place of love, unconditional love. And what really helps is to maybe touch that place by laying your hand on your heart, but also to imagine breathing through your heart. So breathe in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathe in and out through your heart. And with every breath, imagine opening your heart a little more. As though your heart is expanding into space. And that space of love, of unconditional love, is getting bigger and bigger with every breath.